What's up, YouTube? And this is a Bear Down live podcast, and I'm going to talk about the Bears. Just tell you a little about myself. My name is Jeremiah Parcher, and I'm going to talk a little about Bears football. I've been a Bears fan for a very long time. I'm very hopeful about the upcoming season. I think it's going to be all about Mitch and what he brings to the table. As far as our defense, we've got Khalil Mack, Danny Trevathan, Leonard Floyd, Akeem Hicks, Clinton Dix, Buster Skrine, Eddie Jackson. We got him. So we're pretty much good. We're pretty much good as far as our defense. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about injuries. So Trey Burton last season, he had a hernia. Okay? He's day to day. Not much of the starters are getting any playing time right now. It's going to be like third, fourth string, fifth string. And you know, I am all for Matt Nagy resting the starters. I think it will, if he does that, we'll be well rested up. And we'll be ready for week one when we face Green Bay, and that's in Chicago. It's at 7:20. It's a Thursday. They open up September 5th at Soldier Field. And there's high expectations this season. I mean, last year we went 12-4, NFC North champs, and we ended up winning our division for the first time since 2008. So, and I want to talk about a little bit about Thomas Jones. Thomas Jones was a very good running back for Chicago. Now, he's taken his career, and he's a very good actor now. Luke Cage, you can catch that on Netflix. That's a good one. An Atlanta film. He's been doing really good for himself. As far as, now I'm going to talk about the Bears. Now, as far as our offense, Allen Robinson, Taylor Gabriel, Tariq Cohen. I don't know what's going to happen as far as Mike Davis, Kenneth Witt, David Montgomery. I'm anxious to see what we do with our half running backs. As far as Mitch Trubisky, he has the key weapons. He does have the key weapons, even though Anthony Miller is out with an injury. I mean, training camp. When I went down to training camp, he was just fine, but he went off under his own power, thinking that he'd be ready by week one. But he has a high ankle sprain and kept bothering him, so he'll probably miss several weeks before he's up at 100%. But like I said, we've got depth as far as wide receivers. We got Cordell Patterson that could step up. We got Riley Ridley, and we got Javon Wims. I'm anxious to see what happens to him, and we got Tanner Gentry. I'm anxious to see what happens as far as what the Bears do, as far as what we're going to do with the wide receivers we have, or we might send them to our practice squad. So I'm very anxious to see how we handle that situation. Like I said, all eyes are on Mitch. Last year, everything was simplified and broke down. Now, here's the do's and don'ts. The do's and don'ts of the Bears. Now, we can't get complacent. Last year, we went 12-4. We can't be complacent and be full of ourselves. We got to execute game plans. Chuck Pagano, as far as what I've seen tonight, we ended up beating the Colts 27-17. A lot of our third, fourth, fifth string guys were in there, and I'm really impressed with Deon Bush. I honestly think that Deon Bush could make this squad, but I mean, he could probably be a fourth string or a fifth string if one of our key guys go down. Have to keep him. Now, as far as our kicker goes, we got rid of Elliott Fry. He didn't make kicks. We got rid of him. Now, Pinheiro, he hit a 60-yard field goal. A 60-yard. Compared to what we had Cody Parkey. Cody Parkey didn't do the job for us. But a 60-yard field goal by Eddie Pinheiro, he's the only kicker. And like he said on Bears All Access, he said, if I don't make kicks, I'll be gone like the rest of them. They are not playing around with the kickers. Because last season against the Eagles, a lot of headlines were, oh, well, the Eagles blocked the kick. No. Cody Parkey missed that kick. Plain out and simple, he missed it, and then we were gone. We lost by 1 point. And then our last game, our very last game we have, and that's the Tennessee Titans, and that's in Chicago. That's our very last game. And I'm looking forward to watching that game because it's going to decide who we're going to have on the roster and who's going to make the team. That fourth game is going to determine who's going to suit up week 1 and who's going to be left as far as this Bears roster. Now I'm going to talk about Allen Robinson. Allen Robinson is a playmaker. Allen Robinson is a playmaker. I seen him at training camp, and I thought he's phenomenal. He has hands, I kid you not, that are bigger than mine. That's why he is. He's a playmaker wide receiver. I am impressed with what I see from him. Let's just hope after that ACL surgery he can put in numbers. Taylor Gabriel, he's another guy. He's quick, fast. He ran a 4.240. That tells you how fast he is. Tariq Cohen, human joystick. He's going to be phenomenal for us. David Montgomery, he could be huge in our Bears, in this Bears lineup that Matt Nagy dials up. As far as Akeem Hicks, if we get on the goal line, throw him in there and have him run it like the Fridge used to do back in '85. Put him in there. What I'm really liking about it is before the game, the day before the game, they're going to have statues revealed with George Stanley Hallis, who had all started this Bears 100th season. George Stanley Hallis, and they're going to have Walter Payton. And I think they're like the Ernie Banks, Michael Jordan, Frank Thomas of Chicago. I mean, I'm going to be impressed with that. And then they got life-size bobbleheads all over Chicago celebrating the 100th season. So tell you what, this is going to be, I'm very optimistic about going into this Bears season. I mean, week 1, you figure, okay, week 1 we go against Aaron Rodgers. Number 12, he's still gonna put up his numbers. I believe he'll put up his numbers, but I think our defense is gonna do enough to get this W in week 1 in Chicago. Week 2, we're gonna dive right into week 2. Week 2, we battle the Denver Broncos at Mile High Stadium. And let me tell you, this is going to be bittersweet because we battle 2 key guys that we had last year. We had Vic Fangio, our defensive coordinator. Now he's the head coach for the Denver Broncos. And then Mitch Trubisky's going to have to be really on it because we got Bryce Callahan in the secondary, and we got to watch out for Chris Harris Sr. and we also got to watch out for Von Miller. But I think our defense is going to be able to contain Joe Flacco, and do enough to get this W. I think it's gonna be a low-scoring game, but I think we'll be able to go 2-0. You see it? 2-0. The Bears can go 2-0. Week 3 at Washington. Same thing. Our defense is gonna be solid. That's a Monday night game. I think we can beat Washington to go 3-0. Week 4, we battle the Minnesota Vikings. Week 4. Got Kirk Cousins and company, Anthony Barr, Xavier Rhodes. So Trubisky's going to have to be on it. I still think we can honestly beat the Vikings to go 4-0. That's the 4th game of the season, so we're 4-0. I believe we can go 4-0. Week 5, Raiders. That's an international game. Go to London. That's noon start game. We should be able to beat the Oakland Raiders. Should be able to beat them to go 5-0. And then we got our bye week. And then after our bye week, we got to battle the New Orleans Saints. If we can beat those good teams, like we're going to have a tough schedule, but I think we can pull it off. And I think we'll go 13-3, 12-4 like last year, win our division champs, and go as far as the Super Bowl. But there's a lot of good teams. I mean, we got the Rams who are hungry after losing the Super Bowl to New England last season, but they're losing key pieces because Lamarcus Joyner, he's now with the Oakland Raiders. So they're not going to be as heavy as they were a season ago, but they'll still be just as good under Sean McVay. So we still going to be we still have to have our heads in the game if we want to get this win over the Rams. And we've got Philly. And what can you say about Philly? They've got Doug Peterson as their head coach. They got Alshon Jeffrey. They've got Zach Ertz. They got Carson Wentz. They've got Jordan Howard, who we got rid of during the offseason. So now he's with the Philadelphia Eagles. So there's 2 former Bears that we're going to be playing against. Come week 8 or 9, we'll be facing we'll be facing 2 former Chicago Bears with Jordan Howard and Alshon Jeffrey. And we got to go to Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia to face the Eagles. And I hope we shut them down so I don't have to hear "Fly, Eagles, fly." So let's go Bears. And should be a good season. I honestly, if everybody stays healthy, I honestly think we can pull this off and win Super Bowl 20. I do. I think we can win. I think we can win the Super Bowl in 2020. It's not Super Bowl 20, but we'll win the Super Bowl in 2020. So that's my opinion on the Bears season. If you like my podcast, like it down below. Send me a comment what you think Mitch would do. But like I said, this has been a Bear Down Chicago Bear Live podcast, my very first one. Like it on the bottom. If it's not true, it's not worth casting. This is J Money signing off. Like I said, always and as always, Bear Down Chicago Bears, and we'll be hearing a lot of touchdown Bears. Let's go. Let's get this W. We got one more game against Tennessee Titans. This is J Money signing off. Peace.